All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to make a video on the German Bund and the activity thereof from September 9th, which is Friday. And the reason I want to show this to you guys, I had made previous videos on it as all of this was occurring. But the reason I wanted to show it to you is because it is an excellent application of the tools that I endorse, I use, and I strongly suggest that you use. And the German Bund, if you haven't looked into it, do yourself a favor and look into it because it's a great tool. It's a great market to trade, especially when you use it with the footprint and with the Delta profile. It seems to have the most legitimacy to following exactly what the big boys are doing accordingly. Now, if you look up here on the chart, you can see all these lines, right? I got this green line up here, this thicker red line here, an even thicker red line here, right? So on and so forth. These lines, based upon their thickness, are a measure of how strongly or how weakly things transpired. In other words, the thicker the red line, the more prevalent it's going to be because you had more activity there. If it's green, there are a lot of buyers there. If it's red, there are a lot of sellers there. The pink is massive selling. And if it was a wide, dark green one, it would be massive buying. So that being said, I want to dissect this a little bit for you. This might be a longer video because of the fact that we're going to dissect this. But I want you to take a look at this here. Now, first of all, we had this green line up here, right? And keep in mind that these lines are in place before any of this price action even occurs. All right? So these are reference points. So before any of this even traded, before any of this stuff was over here, price was coming up to this green line, which is where you had a lot of, not a ton, but enough to warrant a marking on the chart that there was a lot of buying that went on in that area. And the bulls outpaced the bears. So as we come up to that level, right, we go through it a little bit, we come back down below it. We go through it a little bit, we back off quite a bit, we come back up, we test it again. All of this happening right up here where this green line is a warning signal that there is a shift in control of this market. If the bulls were still strongly in charge, you wouldn't be testing this thing so many times. You might test it one or two times and then continue to move higher. But you can see, well, we tested it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, 11 times, actually, if you want to count that turn down. 11 times that we tested that and could not break it. That is a huge clue as to what's around the corner. So here's the confirmation. We can't break it. We finally come down to where these shorts were put on, and they try and defend it. The shorts do. We come back up to the 33, and two times we try and break through that 33. That's why I have this magenta X right there, is to give you a calling that while the 33 is going up, right? 33 is going up this whole time. We've come down, we've gone below it. We've come up to it twice, and we cannot break it. Another tip-off. Another tip-off that the tides have turned, and that price can no longer even get above our 33. So these bulls are trying to defend here. The bears are trying to defend, and obviously we see who wins, right? We break down and eventually continue to move lower. Now, is it just coincidence that we come down to where all these shorts were put on and we just kind of chop around? No, it's not coincidence at all. What it is a pattern of evidence that the bears are in charge. I mean, we came down here and we chopped around, right? We broke through it. We came back above it by 2 ticks, broke back down, came back above it by 2 ticks. Could not muster anything to the upside. By this time, the 33 is already turned down, and it's turned down hard. That's not a gradual slope. That is falling off a cliff, is what that is. So we know, first of all, we knew over here that the bulls were now in charge, right? We didn't know for sure up here. I mean, we had a feeling. The evidence was beginning to mount that perhaps a top was being put in, but we didn't know for sure. We knew for sure once this occurred that the bears were now in charge and they were going to rule this market. So as we continue down and we come down to where all these shorts were put on and the bulls cannot muster anything to the upside, we know that we're going to have another push down. Get another push down. We come back down to, once again, you think it's coincidental that we come down here and then the bulls try and rally it higher, right? We come down here to where all these shorts were put on, and the bulls are starting to get a little pissed off now because they can't get this thing to go higher. So what better place to try and get it to go higher than where all of these guys got short at this red line, because that will help propel this instrument higher as these shorts begin to cover. But once again, we can't even get back up to where all these shorts were put on. So another sign of weakness, right? So we come back down, we test that again, we break through it. And you have to kind of visualize this as it's occurring, of what's going through the bulls and the bears' minds. The bulls are trying in vain to get this thing to stop going down. The bears are continue to try and push it lower. So another feeble attempt here. We come down. Do you think it's coincidence again that we come down here to where all these longs were put on, and they moderately defend that position as we rally back up, right? I mean, we had a couple of tests right here on that short line. Then we came back up to where all these shorts were put on, and it happens to coincide with where this 33 is. You see a setup like this, you better be licking your chops, because this is almost as good of a setup as this one. Number one, this is trending down, the 33. This one's just flattening. Number two, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times that the bears defended their line in the sand here. And the bulls could not take it over. So you know what, you're going to go lower again, right? So we come down to this magenta line right here, break through it a little bit. Once again, do you think it's coincidental that there's just chopping around action down here? Because there's a giant fight. You can see all this green and red in here, that there's a giant fight going on, right? In the filter. Yeah, red, red, green, 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 red, red. I mean, they're fighting it out right here. So you know that this is a significant level that both the bulls and the bears are fighting it out over. So do you think it's also coincidence that the bears or the bulls, every time they come up to where they put all these longs on, that they really can't get any follow through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They finally get above it, and where does it stop? It stops right where all those short positions were put on. So the bears, once again, have defended their position. So, double top, so on and so forth. So, and it's right up to the 33 again. And we break back down. We come back down to where all those shorts were put on. The bulls try one more last gasp up to try and get this thing to go higher. They can't do it. You got a single contract that goes off up here. There's absolutely no muster to the bulls at all. So it breaks down again, right? It breaks back down below where all these shorts were put on. We come back up to where all these shorts were put on, and there's no participation on the bullish side at all. None. Zero. So we continue to move lower, and we come back down here to where all these longs were put on. Once again, you think it's coincidental that we chop around through here? Not at all. There's a little fight, and you can actually see the bulls thought that they were starting to win here a little bit with these green filter numbers, right? A lot of buying there, a lot of buying there. So we break lower, then we come right back up to where? Our Mr. 33. My favorite moving average in the whole world. We come back up to Mr. 33, can't break it, break down hard, come back to where these longs were. Once again, they can't do a damn thing with it. The bulls cannot do a damn thing with it. So we break lower, and we've got red, 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 right, all the way down. Now, when you start to see that, let me move this up a little bit. When you start to see this red, 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 this is on one bar like this. This is telling you that maybe the bears are getting a little too complacent. They're really starting to sell the crap out of this thing, and they think that their side is the right side forever, and the bulls will never reign supreme again. So, you know that potentially, because this is going on, it's almost contrarian, right? That you're going to get some type of bounce, and you do. Yeah, but once again, what kind of bounce are you getting? I mean, you can't break through the 33, playing around with it a little bit, you break back down. Now we finally get through the 33, right? And you're staying above it for a period of about 20 minutes. We come back up to where, almost to where all those longs were put on, and we break back down again. But at this point, we don't know what's going to go on over here. So this kind of looks like maybe you're putting in a low, right? You have all of these shorts that were put on here. So you're thinking, well, you know what? The bears are starting to get a little overconfident here. The bulls have managed to get this thing back above the 33. This was the line in the sand right here, and they couldn't reach it. So, I mean, you were thinking to yourself that maybe it's over. It's nothing, not a development that would be actionable because it still has yet to be proven. But when you see that they can't even get back up here to where all those longs were put on, you know that you're going to continue lower. I'm not saying you're going to sell that top tick. I'm saying that you're going to wait for it to at least get back below the 33 here. So we get back below the 33, we come up, we test it, can't break it. We break it by about 6 ticks there, but then you get this long down bar, right? This was a gas by the bulls to once again try and get control of this market. They had a little bit of control over here, so they're starting to get a little hungry. They're starting to realize that maybe they have the potential to break the bears' backs here. And that's one of the reasons you get that quick run-up like that. But you get that long down bar. Almost, faster than this one right here. So right there, the bulls don't have squat. So you come down to this area once again. This is a green and a red. So this is a institutional value area, and not your traditional institutional value area, which is based off of a profile or whatever other tool that you want to use to distinguish that. It's based off of buying and selling, the filter, and the delta. So you're chopping around here as you crashed hard, and once again, the bulls went out. They are able to defend that position. They were, The bulls were able to get it to go a little bit, about 3 ticks above that value area, but that was it. They couldn't even get back up to the 33. So he had another slam down, right? Came back up to Mr. Magic. Sorry, that was a bad analogy. He came back up to the 33 and then got hit again. So, I mean, a great demonstration of getting in the frame of mind of the bulls and the bears and being able to interpret what they're thinking, what they're trying to accomplish, just based on the footprint chart, the delta profile, the 33 moving average, and knowing where to put these lines in the sand that, you know, points of interest that they're either going to try and defend or it's going to fail. So, I mean, we cleaned up today in the Boone. Let me put it that way, just because this was just absolutely beautiful. But make sure you watch this video again. Go through everything I talk about and get in the frame of mind of what you would be thinking as a bull or what you would be thinking as a bear as this all occurred. Because that's the mindset that you need to have when you're trading. What's the other guy thinking? This is all, look, markets move based upon psychology. Markets move based upon what people are thinking and their logic thereof. So you have to get that in your mind as you're trading. And this is just a graphic representation of the psychology that actually went on during the course of the day. So that's really just kind of dissecting the German Boon today. This whole premise of getting in the mind of the market is for any market, period. The numbers might change, the action might change, the speed of the market might change, but the general principle thereof remains consistent throughout. So anyway, I just wanted to make that quick video. I hope it was educational for you guys. I can't stress enough that if you trade, do not add to losing positions. All right? I mean, this is a business where collateral damage of taking a loss is just part of it. It's a part of doing business. Don't feel bad when you take a loss. I mean, you're going to take losses. That's all there is to it. And anybody who says that they never take losses is full of shit. Because if you're not taking losses, then you're not trading properly. Because there's nobody who can sit here and get in and out, in and out, in and out, and not take small losses here or there. The whole key is keep those losses small. So the whole premise behind that is don't add to a losing position. Just get the hell out. I know that it's a psychological thing and you don't want to admit you're wrong, but the most important thing you can do is get over yourself, get over your ego, and don't let it bruise your ego. Let it be just the cost of doing business, like in any other endeavor that you might wish to embark upon. All right. Well, I know this video was a little long, almost 18 minutes now, but I hope it was enlightening to you guys. And you guys have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.